Hello, Brigadiers. Welcome back to Narcissu. After a several-month break and a few different games in between, I have come back to this. And I actually had to review the last episode to see what happened. As it turns out, Setsumi is a genius when it comes to cars, or at least identifying them. And she once again brought up the whole "will you stop me if I walk into the ocean and kill myself" thing. That's all I can remember, really. So, we're just gonna go into this next chapter blind. And, let's go. This is chapter 6, Echo. When that high sun was just misting over, Silver Coupe continued to run along the expressway. Oh, that's right, we turned onto the expressway as well. Soon, we would be at the Katsuragawa parking area. Moving slower, we drove in what could be called a slow resting pace. Say, you want to take a break next? What's wrong? Looks like I'm a bit tired. Let's see. It wasn't too surprising. Just before, she had been so excited, and originally, we were even more sick than ordinary sick people, so it was probably natural. Well, I'll go buy you something. Alright, I'll go buy them quick. He closed the door with a slam. Rushing over to a nearby shop, I bought things, that weren't too different from what I would buy at a convenience store. Here, a Pocari and a nigiri. That and also the fries. Those are the words of her reply, but the girl just took them and didn't move to eat. Even though normally, she would have started eating the fries first. You alright? Is it that you're starting to feel bad? My medicine has run out, is all. I see. Her medicine ran out. That was something I'd feared. Well, no. It was something that could easily be imagined from the moment we left the hospital. Of course, I hadn't forgotten about it on purpose. Up until now, I hadn't thought about it. I hadn't even the sense to think about it. Since when? When did your medicine run out? Last night. Then it's almost been an entire day. In my case, I had been told by the doctors that 2 days without taking any was my limit. Most likely, the girl's case was similar. Now that I thought about it, since the day that we left the hospital, 8 days had already passed. Wow, 8 days. The amount of medicine that we carried on hand could have seen that sooner or later it would wind up like this. Right now, what should I do? Say, I don't like the 7th floor. I know. You don't want home either, right? Once again, the Silver Coupe ran on. In the end, I got off the expressway at the next exit. It wasn't that it would help anything, but I wouldn't be able to do anything while on it. From the bleak expressway exit, I continued driving towards an urban area. Then, I searched, not for a small town doctor, but a large hospital. More precisely, I was looking for the pharmacies that are near large hospitals. To be honest, going to a hospital may have been the best thing. If it were a normal sickness, without any hesitation, I would have done so. However, we were residents of the 7th floor. Vinyl identification bracelets wrapped around our wrists were white. And also, we were people who had fled from the 7th floor. While thinking about that, I peered around while gripping the wheel. I was sure that a pharmacy near a large hospital should have most things. Found one. Standing on the corner facing a large street was some large university hospital. Right near it were the signs of 2 or 3 of pharmacies. Just when I decided I wouldn't be able to find parking, I found an open space and quickly stopped the car. Hey, let me borrow your medicine bag. With a mystified expression, the girl handed the bag with medicine over. I took that bag of medicine used in hospital wards and took out the only paper explaining the medicine. This, it should be fine. Well, I'll be back soon. Leaving her alone in the car, I ran the short distance to the pharmacy. Passing through the stuttering, slow automatic door, I came into the store and headed straight for the counter. Welcome. The person who called out to me was a middle-aged man, wearing white clothes. It really fit the image of a pharmacist. I need this medicine, please. Yes. Please wait a moment. With that, the man took the medicine explanation paper and I handed over and went into the back. Most likely, instead of dispensing normal medicine, this place dispensed medicine from hospitals. When I went to an outpatient hospital before, I remembered going into a place like this just to get medicine. Obviously, it was built right next to the hospital, and I thought that most medicines would probably be gathered here. Sorry for the wait. It comes out to this much. Eventually, the man returned. In his hand were clear bags with capsules of medicine. He's carrying 2 bundles of them. With that much, it was probably alright for a while. At a glance, it was probably 1 week's worth. Then, as I was taking out my wallet... before that, may I have your prescription? Prescription? Talking about the prescription for the medicine. These are for clinical use, you see. You received one from your doctor, right? I hadn't expected this. Well, no, thinking about it calmly, these weren't over-the-counter items and you couldn't buy these normally. Something the matter? No, I faltered. The man in white began to lay increasingly suspicious eyes on me. Wait. That's... Noticing the white bracelet wrapped around my wrist, the words that were written on it. My name, blood type, and he was trying to read the name of the hospital. My hands moved. Medicine left on the glass counter. Reflexively, I grabbed the whole pile. Hey, wait! The man behind the counter gave a great shout. I heard that voice behind me, but I was already running. It was only 5 meters from the shop exit. Unable to gain steady footing, I was stumbling, but even then, I ran out in a daze. Then, coming to the stuttering, slow automatic door, as I was making to leave, at that time... Damn it! Suddenly, for a moment, my awareness turned white. I slammed my head into the edge of the automatic door with enough force that it seemed to have cracked. While shaking my wobbly head, I reached out with my hand and opened the automatic door that had stopped partially open. Then when I got out of the store, I began running. I hadn't let go of the bags of medicine I had been holding. Oh, that's a good thing. Phew. Unable to help myself, I was out of breath, and I wound up raising my chin up. It was only a few tens of meters to the car, but it felt awfully long. It didn't seem like anyone was chasing after me, but I didn't even have the luxury of looking back to check. If I were caught, what would happen to her? Alone in the car, she would probably sit there forever, waiting for my return. As I thought about that for some reason, I ran in earnest. While staggering and out of breath, and thinking that this was my full strength in spite of myself, I felt it was sad. I slammed the car doors shut behind me. As if collapsing, I fell into the seat, panted heavily as I tore the car onto the road. Clearly, more so than the other day at the pachinko parlor, I became aware of how much my strength had slipped. Then, checking the rear view, it looked like I really had been cut by the glass. A bit of blood was flowing from my forehead. Probably if it's just this much, it'll stop soon. While driving, I lightly pressed some pocket tissues on it. Are you alright? Yeah, I'm fine. But you're bleeding. Don't worry about it, it's nothing. The girl directing a worried face towards me, I waved my hand telling her not to worry. Then, with my left hand holding the wheel, I handed her the bundle of medicine. Here, take your medicine. With this, I thought we'd be fine for the moment. At the least, we'd probably hold out for a week. But when this runs out, what would happen? It was good that today had been a success by chance, but it was clear that my own strength was declining every day. Originally, we didn't have a goal or a place to go, because we had no desires. We had no fear of losing anything. But now, things were slightly different. With the birth of purpose, fear of loss also was born. Suita Junction. Day cleared up in that clear, so very high sky that was characteristic of winter spread wide. Once again, we went on the expressway. Right now, we left the Suita Junction and we're running along the Shugoku Expressway. Hey, what's the next one? From the Kobe Junction. Got it. The Sanyo Expressway, right? Following the girl's direction, the silver coupe ran. Coming all the way here, signs along the way were occasionally showing the words Aoji-shima. Since the day we escaped from the 7th floor, the odometer had already passed 900 kilometers. It seemed unthinkable that we had gone so far, but considering our destination, it was just a short distance. Then, what appeared before us was a large bridge. This is the Akashi Kaikyo Bridge. It's an amazing bridge, isn't it? Two of us couldn't help but be impressed. It was as if it ran atop the sea forever. Then, after we drove for a while, right in the middle of the bridge, here and there, cars were stopped and people could be seen. Most likely those were tourists who got out of their cars to take commemorative photos. Imitating these people, I pulled the car to a stop alongside of the road. Stopping is prohibited here. Well, if it's just for a bit, it'd probably be fine. Besides, from what we've seen, a number of other cars had stopped in the same way. Come now, let's go out for a bit and have a look. I'm sure it's got an amazing view. Alright. She sounded a little reluctant still, but the girl got out of her car to join me. A strong, cold wind whistled atop the bridge. Colder than you'd think, isn't it? Since normally we wouldn't come out of the car, he felt it all the more. In contrast to us, farther down, there were two people that seemed to be a couple. It looked like they were taking commemorative photos, raising happy voices that even we could hear. Looking around closer, other than those two, there were families and groups also taking pictures. Commemorative photo, eh? Certainly for a place like this, one was necessary. Speaking of which, what's wrong? Wait a sec. I was certain that there had been a camera. Before, the first time I had searched through the car, I remembered that I had found a cheap disposable camera. At the time, from what little I saw, I thought there were a few shots left. Pulling out the camera, I checked the film. Wonderful. There's still 2 shots left. Sorry for the wait. Look, I'll take one of you. Picture. Picture. Since we're here after all. No. Now, don't say that. Strike a pose or something for me. As I spoke, I readied the camera, pointing it at her. Come now. Try making a bit of happier face. However, maybe because she was embarrassed, even when she finally faced this way, she had a sulking expression. Or perhaps, this girl, this is her trying her best to make us smile. Or perhaps she's so sick that she can't smile? Ever think about that? Anyway. As I thought about that, I made ready to shoot the camera when... Excuse me, could you take a picture of us? Sure. Some random couple came up to us with a camera in hand. Okay, ready? Yes, please. Happily, the 2 hugged shoulders, and the 2 of them smiled. I placed the 2 of them in the viewfinder, and hit the shutter. The shutter clicked. Thank you very much. Well, in exchange, I'll take a picture of you 2. No, I just pressed here on the camera, right? Faster than my reply, he took my camera. Actually, it was more like he snatched it. Probably he was being polite, ignoring our hesitation. He quickly readied the camera. Come now, the 2 of you get closer together. At those words, I moved my body just a bit closer to the girl. Still looking emotionless as always. The girl next to me also moved just a hint closer. Could you please pose a bit more? Noticeably, the boyfriend started adding more requests, and looking closer, the guy's girlfriend was also giving us exasperated looks. Thinking there was no helping it, from behind her back to her shoulder, I slowly wrapped my arm around her. It's the first time that I touched her body. The feeling of the childish clothes we bought the other day, waist-length hair, spread through my hands. Looking at the camera, I couldn't see the girl's expression, but maybe she might be wearing that embarrassed pouting face that she would only show very rarely. Well then, ready? The shutter clicked. Perhaps satisfied that they had taken a decent picture, the couple returned to their car. We also turned towards our own car. Girlfriend, eh? Looks like we've been mistaken? Could it be that we look like it? Said it in just a bit of a joking way. For some reason it felt fun. I just wound up continuing in that light tone. Well, no. Well, what do you think, Satsumi? What's with that? You're the younger one. Even with those words, the same as always, she was facing the window. Her expression was the same. She didn't even move to look in my direction. But that was... Her eyes weren't the ones that always look far away. I had a feeling that it was embarrassing, so she was turning her face away. Sumoto interchange. Looking up at the high sun, that characteristically blue sky spread on and on. From then, we went on for just a bit and arrived at the Sumoto interchange. Once again, we exited and returned to the normal roads. Finally arrived, haven't we? Since that day when we left the 7th floor, the car's trip meter showed some 900 kilometers. From an unplanned start, we really did make it all the way here. Well, where should we go from here? South. South. Got it. Following the girl's direction, I set off. Of course, coming here, you and I knew what the place would be. I could see a number of signs for tourists in front of me. However, I followed her navigation. I had a feeling that it would be wrong if I didn't. For some reason, I wanted to do it that way. Alright, so that was chapter 6. I finally ran out of medicine. I was wondering when that would happen. Also, I'm surprised that the narrator managed to escape the pharmacy without getting arrested. Well, anyway, the next chapter is aptly named Narcissu. Narcissus. Yeah. Well, until next time, Brigadiers, keep on rocking.